Happy Halloween from Native Honor Hours.
We don't celebrate Halloween, remember?
Well, I'm looking at your scary costume.
Yeah, what is my scary costume?
Nasty old Indian man.
I was going to be nice, but I'm going to... So, which are you?
Oh,
Which?
look at my earrings, man. I'm the one they dropped the house on.
All right, well, we're back, and we had a break last week, didn't we?
We did.
What happened? Whose fault was it last week?
The content is not currently... This content is currently not online.
And blocked.
Please browse other great upstream content in the meantime and check back later to see if the content becomes available. Thank you.
They're just blocking you.
I know. I'm blocked.
We have should I say special or just a guest?
Oh, you're special. You set him up for that.
I know. Thanks for walking through that door. I'm playing straight man today. Well, we're back, and this is going to be an exciting weekend for us.
Yeah. Wow.
It is.
Big weekend for us.
Probably one of our biggest. Was Billy Mills bigger?
No, but here's what I would say.
Kenny, what do you think?
If we weren't doing,
Yeah.
It was pretty big.
3 days, and we're bringing in Ivan Rock, who rode those horses in that amazing horse race. We're bringing in the 2 young men from that fabulous lacrosse movie. We're bringing in Shasuke Spencer, and we're showing 2 of his movies. We're bringing in the director of that movie. We're bringing in Sterling Harjo to give a talk. We're giving 2 acting workshops. So maybe it's not bigger than Billy Mills, but it's the biggest event we've ever tried to
It's
put
the
on.
biggest event we've tried to pull off.
And one of us is just about over it.
You are.
I am.
I have to hand it to you. She's been the driving force behind.
Only
Getting this
because
done.
I knew you would kill
'Cause,
somebody.
yeah,
Because of the immense amount of details involved in this.
yes.
But I've been learning. I've been learning how to do it. Maybe it's time for us to do it ourselves.
No, nope. No, you keep saying, but you just know what it's like just putting on power.
I can do it.
Shall we show them the
Should we talk
the
about...
poster?
Let me tell you what's changed on
Hey,
the poster.
shall we post it on the poster? You know what we need to announce and put on there is that Sterling Harjo
Yep.
of the 1491s has been added to the lineup.
Yes, he's on Sunday. He's going to be doing a workshop where he's talking about, I have all that information, but it's going to take me just
Post
a
it.
second to get it. I don't know
Please.
how. I don't know
Please.
how. I don't know how.
Post it,
I
Kenny.
don't know how. I keep saying over and over, I don't know how.
So we need to attach the...
But starting out Friday night, we're bringing the big guns out Friday night, and
Friday night is going to be our inaugural night. It's going to be at
you know what? You're going to have to wear a suit jacket.
I'm not wearing a suit.
You are. A sport coat.
Sport coat.
Yes, Monica, yes.
I do, but I'm not going to wear
Wear
them.
a sport coat then, please. If you wear those brown pants, I will set fire to them on your body.
No, these are new brown pants. The other brown pants, they walked away.
I want to see you. I don't care what you wear Saturday and Sunday, but Friday night, I'd like to see a tie.
No, there ain't going to be no...
Yes.
Kenny, a tie? Really?
Yes.
It's just the Indians out there. They know...
Ed?
No, they're going to think that's the mark of colonization.
No, it is not. I knew
Sherman?
and I know you
Don't do
so
it, man.
well. I knew you were going to throw that at me. You don't want to wear a tie because you don't want to wear a tie.
I wear them every Sunday. I just don't want to... I don't want to wear one. And Sherman is in agreement with me on this one.
Oh, you are? What? Did you give him the eyes? Like, yeah, I agree with you?
Pretty much.
When you're the director and we're having a film festival and it's premiering at Joslyn, I will take you tie shopping myself.
Well,
I'd
it
rather
looks...
just have the money.
Someone dressed up as Mr. Freeman. They put on a suit and tie and got
Okay.
all dressed up as Mr. Freeman. I loved it.
All right.
Yeah, people, you're going to see Ed Zendejas in a tie and a suit jacket or on fire. He's got 2 choices.
I'll be on fire.
Because I'll light you.
I'll be on fire.
I'll light you up, brother.
I'll be on fire, Kenny. I'm not wearing a tie. You know what? I might put on a sport coat. I might do that.
If you put on a sport coat with that Native Studies shirt, I'll set that on fire too.
Why?
Because
Who made you
put
the-
on a button-up collar shirt. This is dressy.
Right.
This is dressy.
Ask my girlfriend. Do I have to wear a tie?
No.
Not if he doesn't want to.
See?
And she's the boss of me, not you.
Monica, I was looking for a little support there, sister.
See, if she were to ask me if she had to wear a dress,
I'll wear a dress.
No, if she
No,
would
please
ask
don't.
me, I would have said, "No, you don't have to wear a dress. You don't have to do that."
Okay, you'll just be embarrassed when you're
I'll
next
say,
to Foxy.
like, there's going to be so many other people down there wearing suit and tie,
yeah.
huh?
Oh, yeah.
They'll be all over the
They'll be
place.
streaming
You know what?
Yeah.
Are they going to be welcoming everybody to the film festival? Are they going to be up on the?
I'm not going to be doing that.
Yeah, you are. Did you not read the script? I labored over that folder. Oh God, you will be doing it. Yes,
That's
he's got his script.
My
in there.
instructions.
He's got everything he needs to know.
I'll probably leave this in this room when I'm done.
Oh, give it to me.
No, I got it.
No, I've got the. It's got the stuff that I want to talk about that I can't find on the email
All
on the
right.
thing.
But it starts tomorrow,
7
and
p.m.
at 7. I'm suggesting if you're with earshot of our listening audience, and that covers where, Kenny, to 72nd and Dodge Street. You should probably get there a little. None of this Indian time. No Indian time.
What?
Yeah, no Indian
Because they're
time.
starting the movie at 7.
Because we're meeting at like the Jocelyn, which for those of you that outside of our listening area, if there's any of you out there, it's kind of a highbrow place. Did it get a rating of R?
What?
The Winter in the Blood.
Yes, Winter in the Blood is R, and it says right on the poster that something.
So probably not the movie to bring your little kids to.
It says this program contains materials that parents may find unsuitable for children. Probably Gary Farmer's book.
Yeah, that would be unsuitable. We shouldn't say that, but it's true.
But
So
it's true.
what's the addition on it?
Sterling, Sterlen, Harjo.
It's not ING?
Okay, from 1
Not
to
Sterling.
2:30 p.m., telling
Sterling.
stories in film, exaggerations, half-truths, and flat lies, presented by Sterling Harjo, directing of Barking Water and founding member of the 1491s. So that's who he is.
That was a late addition, so we didn't get it on the poster.
No, we did not. And also, in case you want to know what children's movies there were, those
Yeah,
weren't
what
on the
children's movies
posters
are we
either.
going to have?
The first one is Opal by Ramona Emerson. A young resilient girl fights back when
What
boys...
kind of girl?
A young resilient girl.
What does that mean?
A girl who bounces back.
Okay.
A-
Just checking.
Me, after working with you. A young resilient girl fights
Mine
back.
was
All
the
you do
young.
is bounce. We know that because when you chased after that M&M, boom, bounced right up.
That's the only reason
She's
I finished
resilient.
that walk without breaking down, because you know we would have been hearing about that too. She fights back when boys on the reservation tell her she cannot ride on the boys-only bike jumps. And then
Are we going to get in trouble for this?
And then Red Run Walk, a Navajo sheepdog. A red sheepdog search for his lost sheep
He doesn't
takes him
care.
across the hills and hollows of the reservation. Along the way, he meets some very unexpected characters in Navajo with English subtitles.
Really?
Huh.
That'll be different.
What about children who can't read yet?
Then you probably shouldn't attend.
What's the Sterling Harjo edition? I didn't get it from you.
He's the 1491.
He is...
1491.
Well,
It's a,
Talk.
what is it? It's a talk?
It's a talk.
Presentation.
Presentation.
A presentation, Kenny.
Time and what day?
Monica, I'm looking.
We're on TV here.
She's pressuring me. I feel pressure.
We're in the middle of a show. We have an audience out there.
Oh, there. So those were the additions.
I don't even know if my grandkids are listening. Oh, Kenny, I have to say this. I was at Primetime Reading on Tuesday night, and Mike Parker, he says, Ed, come here, talk to you. Like, what? Says, just wanted to tell you, actually listen to our show. I was like, you're the one. And he said, yeah, I appreciate your bit on commodity cheese. I'm like, all right, I don't remember which one that was. Don't we talk about commodity cheese every week? Just about. No, we should have a segment.
A commodities segment?
Commodities segment.
All the
We
things
talked
you
about
can make
cheese.
with. You know what we were talking about, speaking of commodities, my daughter had never heard of powdered milk before. And I told her my grandma used to buy 2 gallons of milk, or 1 gallon of milk, and when the other one was
And then you
empty,
mix it.
she would pour half into that gallon and keep half in the gallon, mix the powdered milk up and pour it in the gallon.
You know what we call that today?
I never could tell the difference.
Skim milk.
Skim milk.
Skim milk. I never could tell the difference. But Sarah didn't even know they made such a thing as powdered
Eggs.
powdered.
No,
those were
Deborah,
gross. They
we're-
use those for baking.
We're kind of digressing because I thought this was going to be the big show,
Oh, the Filmmakers Festival. So
Makers Festival.
Friday
You want me to
night,
talk about
Mr.
commodities? I just suggested that.
Yeah, you can talk about commodities.
No,
But
let's
you
finish
can't
up
bring
with
up
the show.
commodities
Okay,
without going into a whole.
Saturday from 1
Peanut
to 2
butter.
p.m. is Yellow Fever. I do not know what that's about. Do you?
No, that's not some Spike Lee thing,
And
is
then
it?
from 1 to 2:30 p.m. on Saturday, Vision Maker Media in the Classroom Workshop, presented by Executive Director Shirley Sneevy.
You know, I want to go to that. You know why?
Why?
Because they fund movies.
Well, you'll have to announce, you're moderating Yellow Fever.
What do? You just go up there and say, yeah, that was a movie. What'd you guys think? Give me some popcorn, you'll be fine.
Sherman's moderating Yellow Fever.
You want to moderate that one, Sherman?
What is it?
It's a movie.
It's a
She's
movie,
got
yeah.
all the
What's it
synopsises.
pay?
What's it pay? We got a bag of popcorn and some Diet Pepsi for you.
I'm in there.
Then,
That Pitsy.
from 3
I'm
to
in
4:30, we have 2 events going on. One, 40 years celebrated Wounded Knee with director Chris Marshall.
Now that's the one I want to go to. You know why?
And an acting workshop with Shasuke Spencer at the same time.
Is that the same time? We're gonna lose out.
Will we have things overlapping?
Yes, yes.
Who put this thing together?
From Vision Makers Media. At 5 to 5:30, Spirit in the Glass, and then 5:30 to 7 p.m. on Sunday, Indian Relay with Ivan Zach Rock. That really looks like a good film. A bunch of natives race, and they race in Indian way, no saddles. It's bareback. It looks amazing. And then we'll be closing Saturday evening with Shouting Secrets with actor Shasuke Spencer. I don't know anything about that movie either. And then on Sunday.
Isn't it?
On Sunday, from 1 to 2, Standing Bare Footsteps, and from 3 to 4, The Medicine Game. And The Medicine Game is the one with the 2 young men from
The lacrosse.
the lacrosse team. So parents, that'd be a really good one
It
to
would
bring the
be.
kids out.
What
Those
team?
young men, The Medicine Game. Look it up.
The medicine game. You would have to ask what team. I think it's the Onondaga.
He's been hanging around with you so much, he's starting to get buggy. He's starting to
I thought it
irritate.
was Bucky. I thought that you
Buggy.
guys said Bucky.
No, that's the way you behave.
Well, he's getting Bucky then.
He's not Lakota. He can't be.
Oh, Syracuse. They play for Syracuse University.
Wow.
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 Big shots.
My daughter saw that Sterling Harjo, Sterling.
No G,
There's no G?
not on the yearpaper.
I think that might be an. I
No,
think
there's
that
no,
might
it's
be
not
an-
Sterling. Sterling.
Sterling?
Yes.
Now, how am I going to be able to look at him and say his name? Hi, Sterling. Do we?
I'm sure you'll manage.
We don't have to pick. Was he on the list for people to be picked up from the airport?
Well, we can go into those kind of details off air.
Details.
Right now.
Who is?
Is my granddaughter talking to me
So it's going to be a great weekend. Intertribal Student Council will be selling.
Come on, Sherman. Who else is watching
Commodities.
besides my grandkids?
Nobody.
Nobody.
There's a lot of
Nobody.
people online that could be watching, so get with the
No, there
program.
isn't.
We
Kenny,
only
do we have anybody besides my...
Also, I
daughter
want to
in
make a few
Dallas?
announcements about that. There will be free parking. There will.
Man, he's supposed to be your backup over here. Give us
We
a...
got like,
I'm surprised you guys are still on the
we
air.
got one view here, we got one view there, and we have like one view being on, so.
We got
free
3
parking
viewers.
At any
Yeah,
metered
1, 2,
spot
there.
or faculty
Oh, okay.
spot. We have metered, it doesn't show up if you watch on the iPhone, because my sister just said she's watching on the phone, and it doesn't show up. Free parking at any metered spot or faculty, staff, surface lot, so you can park anywhere you want on campus.
Should we tell them where the films are being showed
Yes.
at?
I'm working on it. Give me a few minutes here. There will be concessions will be provided by the Intertribal Student Council. We will have Pepsi products, water, popcorn, and
You selling
some
water?
treats. Of
Are
course
they
we
selling water?
Yes. Any questions, please contact Georgiana Lee
About
or
the
me, and that's
concessions?
on the bottom of the poster. We are also, we have, if you need disability, please let me know.
If you need a disability?
If you need a, would you be quiet so I can think? No more talking until I tell you you can. If you need a sticker for your car, if you have a disability, please let me know beforehand, and I will have one ready to go for you. We ask that you keep your children in the theater unless
Yeah,
you're
please
leaving
watch
them
your
with,
kids. Please,
unless
please,
you're leaving
please.
with them. We're in the Epley Administration Center. It's where all the important offices are. They're not going to let people walk around in that building. They're just not going to.
Sherman, are you going to watch
It's
Cindy?
free.
I
It's
will.
absolutely free to the
her on a
public. You
leash.
know we don't charge for anything.
So it's free, and this is like our promise to the community. But it would be nice if you would support the Intertribal Student Council and, buy a can of Pepsi, popcorn, that kind of stuff. And that will support our student organization. So recognize that this is a free event, and please support our students.
Also, this is co-sponsored by Multicultural Affairs, Intertribal Student Council, American Multicultural Students, and the NICE program at Omaha Public Schools. So we've got a lot of good people behind us. I just hope we fill it up.
Yes, tell your friends, tell all 3 of you out there. If you tell 2 friends, then that will mean we'll have what? 9,
We've had it.
That's a
it
pyramid
should have been
scheme.
going up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So
You
do you-
know, Facebook is really rapidly replacing posters and stuff.
It's
Pretty soon
social
it's all gonna
media.
be- Exactly. I peppered this town, Winnebago, Macy, Walt Hill. There are posters for this everywhere. I believe Winnebago was trying to get a bus so they could bring the kids down to see those lacrosse players.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah.
My auntie does some kind of some program up there, and she's bringing about 15, 20 kids down on Saturday.
Wow.
Cool.
Good. What are we going to do if we run out of room?
Oh, that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
I know, but what are we going to do?
It would be great to tell Indians to leave.
Oh my gosh.
Hit the road, you're late.
Hey,
Didn't I
want-
tell you to
know
show up
what?
on time?
And not to change the subject, but I got to leave pretty soon, so I want to talk to you about how proud I am of you and your response to our homecoming. I opened my email this morning, and I had a letter from Ed Zendejas that is being sent to the people in the know in the university about the Native American response to our homecoming theme, the Wild Wild West. Why don't you share a little bit what you said in your article? Because, it really was uplifting. I was so proud.
Were
And
you?
everybody who I gave it to read was like, all right. You know what? You got the fist from me. You got the AIM fist from me. That's how proud I am of you. It'll never happen again, so there, we've got it on.
That old thing, I just threw that together in a couple minutes.
It was great. I wish I had it.
It's
if
on your
I-
email.
Can I read it out loud?
I don't care.
Okay.
You want me to read it?
Yeah, why don't you read it? Can you read out loud? Can you see the screen?
Man, no respect.
Hey,
So
I
are we
already told you.
are we done with our? Are we done? We can't be done with our movie, our film festival.
You can keep talking
Oh, you know,
about it
you know what we're
after
gonna
I
no,
go,
we're
but I
gonna
want
try,
you
no, we're
to-
gonna try to do.
What?
We're gonna try to do some remote. We're gonna try to interview some of our special guests.
Yes, and if nothing else, get them on tape so we can play them during our regular radio show.
Yeah, when we're
Do they
gone.
do that anymore? Do we put it on tape, or is that out? Is that? It's we'll put it on digital.
Don't look at me like that. Go hit
They're
him.
yours. Would you keep them in control, please?
He's over there. He's over there. Got
Cindy, let me ask
frosting
you
all over his
this.
lip.
Do you have any tapes?
She's got 8
You know,
tracks.
in my garage, I have VHS tapes.
And they're in your garage?
Yeah.
You don't really watch them anymore, do you?
No.
Okay.
I don't think you can you? I don't think there's any
You'll
more
be happy to
machines.
know that we're gonna have coffee and there'll be coffee Saturday morning because we gotta have coffee
Why?
on Ed.
No.
Good Ed.
We better not have paid for water because there's
No.
there's drinking fountains.
Intertribal Student Council is selling bottled
There's
water.
drinking fountains over at the administration building. I ain't buying water.
I don't know.
My girlfriend's looking it up.
Good. What's an electronic signature on it?
Well, they want me to electronic signature?
I'm
I
gonna
know what it
send you
is.
this. I'm going to send you this because Monica, this letter Ed wrote, I sent to the Gateway newspaper to try and get it in. There's a small procedure they need followed to get it in the newspaper, and I'm sending it to him, but I'm really
Sending
begging
it
you
to her.
yeah.
Christian was me.
Of course, he is the star, producer, director. Oh no, we were the executive producers.
You know, one of your hobby students is why don't you do this stuff when I'm in America?
Oh, is that Hassan?
Our international,
Hussein?
our international listener.
No, that's not. He's not Saudi.
What is he?
He's it's Bennett. Anyway, what's he saying?
Why don't you do stuff when I'm in America?
He's probably deployed somewhere, aren't you, Rashid?
Oh.
No,
So
No,
we're,
she's sorry.
So we're going out to the troops.
no. Maybe,
If we are,
maybe
we need somebody way
because
cooler
we
than
we
you
have
here.
a listener in Scotland.
Scotland.
See who does better Scottish brogue.
Scotland.
I believe it's me.
You know who you sounded like? Mike Myers when he's playing the Scottish guy. What movie is that in? Where he's that big,
yeah.
big fat Scottish guy.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I know. Well, who?
Do you want me to
Now
read
that's
this?
going to
or
bother
no?
me.
Austin
yes,
Powers?
please Austin Powers. Please read this.
Did you want me to read it?
Read it.
All right. This is in response to. This is really boring for them, though. My granddaughter doesn't want to hear this.
I want like it read, please.
Sherman, what do you say?
Oh, flip a coin.
Should I read it when you're gone?
No, read it now.
Because I want to make fun of you while you're here.
Kenny,
See
it's
that?
telling
She
me it's
hit
not
me.
available.
All right. This is in response to our homecoming theme. We don't have a football team anymore, but apparently we still have homecoming.
And guess what the theme is?
And the theme is, I think we've said this,
Say it
Sherman,
again.
Wild Wild West.
the Wild Wild West. And I'm sitting there thinking, we've come so far, haven't we?
Yes.
I mean, Sherman's shaking his head.
No, not
No,
really.
with
From when we were kids, we've
with
come
our
a long
administration
way.
in terms of chancellor,
True that.
Yeah, okay.
I think so.
True that.
Okay.
And then who came up with that theme? Don't you know? Who came up with the theme, the Wild
I'm not
Wild?
going to say it. We
Yeah.
don't need. Yeah, we don't need to go there.
All right. Apparently, we're going to protect some people. But they came up with the theme of the Wild Wild West, which I told this to my students in class. I said, "So what does that mean? What's that going to necessarily involve in
What
terms
does
of
it bring to mind?
cowboys and Indians?"
Indians.
And you know, there's going to be some cowboy
White girls
and
dressed
Indian.
as sexy Pocahontas.
or should I say this?
Go ahead.
No,
After that rant you went on? You're worried about saying anything?
Yeah, but my granddaughter's listening now.
Oh, okay.
Sarah, cover her ears. No, it's Chief. It's Pocahontas
Ah.
and Chief
What is it?
Wansome Tail. You haven't seen that?
Oh. I am appalled.
It's some guy that's got the fake feather war bonnet thing, and it's. You haven't seen that on Facebook?
No.
I don't. Kenny, have you seen that?
No.
You haven't. I've seen it all over Facebook.
Well, Kenny probably doesn't have as many native friends as we do on Facebook.
Well, anyway, it's been there, and so I asked my students. I said, and some of them were fraternity and sorority people, and I said, so what is this gonna mean in terms of there's probably gonna be these cowboy Indian parties, and one of my students who's in some said, probably. What do you mean? And I said, even after I say it, and they're like, yeah. And he said, if you tell them not to do it,
they're going to do it.
They're going to do it to spite you.
Yep.
So, in response to that, I know you wanted to go raise.
Well, I simply went into the office and said, what were you thinking when you picked the Wild Wild West? And they looked at me like, what? I said, it's racially offensive to an entire group of people.
Well, see, I like to take out the
that.
offensive part of it.
We didn't think about that. I said, I'll tell you what, I can't have little white girls walking around on campus in Indian costumes. And they looked at me like, and they said, oh, they won't. I said, what? I said, what do you think of when you think of the Wild Wild West? Cowboys and they were like, oh, Indians. The thing that bothers me the most is that you can't think of these things ahead of time. When you pick a theme, you can't think, who is this going to offend? Next year, will it be plantation days? They would never do that. They would never do that, yet it's okay to do the Wild Wild West. So I, of course, went running to Ed. Oh, my God, they're doing the Wild Wild West. What are we going to do? So go ahead with what you wrote.
You wanted to burn buildings down.
I wanted to do a little protest in the Pet Bowl.
Yeah. And I was.
Which we still may do.
Go ahead.
Anyway, I was challenged by an administrator who kind of expressed some concern as well, and I said, well, he expected me to educate some people.
Yep.
So this is my attempt at educating some people, and it's entitled,
My Ancestors Were Not Wild.
My Ancestors Were Not Wild.
Mine were.
That's why I said my. I first entitled this our answer, but I got to thinking about Cindy, and I thought,
No,
I better
just go with
I
your
better
family.
focus in on this just a little bit because there's Cindy's out there.
Yeah.
I think here it is.
Oh. Wait before you read. That is too cute.
Oh, is that
Sarah
my little
Zimmon
baby?
just posted on that Ava watching Grandpa on his radio show. Oh.
Yeah, see, there's.
Nice.
I've got to not itch my head in public.
So I need to go like this to Ava. But here's my response. University of Nebraska Omaha has selected the theme, the Wild Wild West, for their 2013 homecoming festivities. Eric's back there taking a nap now. See, that's how boring it is.
Read it and be quiet.
I do not know the motivation or intent for selecting this theme, but I suspect that it had something to do with celebrating the accomplishments of pioneer, settlers, and or cowboy ancestors who immigrated to this land and, quote unquote, won the West. The obvious inference to me is that my ancestors, the Omahas, or the Omaha people, and other indigenous nations, so I thought I'd include you in that one.
Thank you.
Were wild savages in need of civilization, although an argument could be made about your people. Or, if not civilized, in need of defeat. Now, this would applies to your people.
Be quiet and read. You're just still jealous you're not Lakota.
In need of defeat in the name of God's will, manifest destiny. My ancestors were not wild, neither were they savages. I'm certainly in favor of celebrating the accomplishments of ancestors. However, In the celebration of the accomplishments of pioneers, settlers, and/or cowboys of the West, please do not refer or depict my ancestors as wild. I do not intend to dictate some politically correct agenda. Since the University of Nebraska Omaha is an institution of higher learning, I would like to briefly attempt to educate from the perspective of my ancestors who inhabited these lands previous to pioneers, settlers, and cowboys. The notion that my ancestors were wild savages has its roots in the European doctrine of
Discovery.
Oh, there you go. Good, make me feel better. European discoverers were given permission by religious leaders to lay claim to all new lands inhabited by those that were without souls or savages. The savages were deemed to be less than human, therefore not capable of actually owning property. They were to be treated as part of the property, something that could be discarded, sold, or maybe converted and saved. We think of the West as lands located west of the Mississippi River. This part of the country was acquired in what we know as the Louisiana Purchase. Who did we purchase?
He was going to wait for us to say purchase.
You didn't know that, did you? Who did we purchase this land from?
I know my brother Thomas Jefferson. Don't be thinking I don't know my facts, boy.
Okay, who did we purchase this land from?
France.
France?
France.
Okay, France. My ancestors were here and called a portion of this territory home. Were they consulted or made an offer by the United States government for the purchase of the West?
No.
No, we weren't. Obviously,
Commods.
Well, that came afterwards in exchange for it. Obviously, they and other indigenous people were not consulted. We were, in the minds of the government, savages. The United States Supreme Court validated the European doctrine of discovery in what case? Starts with a J, ends with Anson.
Johnson versus Worcester, or no, McIntosh.
McIntosh in 1823. You knew that, Kenny, didn't you?
Yeah.
He did. Look at him. Johnson versus McIntosh, when Chief Justice John Marshall, your buddy, declared my ancestors as fierce savages that were incapable of owning land rights. The United
Yet
States
still protected us from states' rights. Let's throw that in, from the inclusion of the state.
The United States Supreme Court declared my ancestors savages. Since that time, the United States government has treated my ancestors as savages in need of civilization.
Or saving, shall we say.
Okay. The policies of the United States towards my ancestors have been to treat us as savages in need of being dealt with in one way or another in order to win the West. We've been removed, assimilated, reorganized, and terminated amongst other official U.S. policies. My ancestors were not wild savages. My ancestors and other indigenous communities your community may have been included in this.
You know, someday you're going to open the front door and about 7 of my cousins are going to be standing there and you're going to be hiding behind Monica.
Come on, Lakota.
Oh my God. Sherman, don't even try and protect him. Just get out the way.
No, he's Dakota.
He's still my relative.
Where was I? Were my ancestors and other indigenous communities enjoyed societies that were rich in cultural, spiritual, and governmental traditions. Most of those rich traditions were destroyed when they were civilized by the United States government. I probably ought to include something in there through the boarding school process, huh? Okay.
Yep.
Before I send this in officially to the
Boarding
newspaper.
schools.
Exactly how were my ancestors treated by the United States government? In the case of the Omaha Tribe of Nebraska versus the United States in 1960, the court stated, the Omaha Tribe of Nebraska has a history of kindness and helping others in their time of need. The Omaha people have assisted the Pawnee. What are you smiling at?
Because I'm making faces.
Pawnee, Ponca, and Winnebago tribes, as well as Mormon pioneers when they were in need. In return, the United States government continuously dealt with them in ways which were not fair and honorable. That was a direct quote from the court.
I know.
My ancestors, like other indigenous people, were not treated in a fair and honorable way by the United States government. I should probably add in a quote about your people and how their court case in U.S. versus Sioux Nation, where they said they haven't seen a more ripe and rank dealing with. Should I include that in there?
Yes.
Please
Yes, please
Shall I?
do,
Yeah.
yes.
All right. For you two, I'll do
Would
that.
you, and then, would you send the amended one into the gateway then?
All right, I will. I'll include boarding's
It
gonna.
has to come from your email.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, that's how the Wild West, I should say Wild West,
Yeah.
was really won. In 1970, President Richard Nixon addressed Congress and stated, but the story of the Indian in America is something more than the record of the white man's frequent aggression, broken agreements, intermittent remorse, and prolonged failure. It is also a record of endurance, of survival, of adaptation, and creativity in the face of overwhelming obstacles. It is a record of enormous contributions to this country, to its art and culture, to its strength and spirit, to its sense of history, and its sense of purpose. In celebrating the theme of the Wild, Wild West, please remember that indigenous people were not savages in need of being defeated, subdued, and civilized. We were healthy and thriving societies that contributed much to the history of this nation. My ancestors were not wild.
Yay! I am so proud of you. That's amazing.
I never
Good
thought
for
it
you.
would get that kind of reaction out of it.
You know, you said exactly, here's what I like about it. You didn't say, you said it without attacking the people who thought about it. You know what I mean? You merely informed them of why it was offensive to you.
Did I say offensive?
No.
Did I
No,
ever
but
say offensive?
you understand. I mean, it's what's that word where it's not seen, but it's implied. It's implied.
I don't even know if I want to imply. Did I imply that?
You
That I was
implied it.
offended?
Yeah. Why,
No,
are you
I
not?
don't. No,
You're not offended?
No. Whatever I do in terms of mascots and, to me, it's not about being offended.
Then why do you rant?
I want to take that
If
because
you weren't offended, you wouldn't rant.
no, it's really not. And if you read my book, she probably hasn't. I say this.
Eric and I were here the day you popped.
I know, but
You were offended,
it wasn't
which is
out
brought on the
of being
pod.
offended.
I believe that was.
No, Sherman, was it offended?
How could I possibly know what you feel?
See, no.
Your statement.
Here's what it's about. It's about the ignorance that keeps getting perpetuated. The notion of the wild, wild west, and the inference that it was wild, therefore our ancestors were wild, and in need of taming, as I said. That's the stereotype that needs to be extinguished. And what needs to be told is the story, hopefully, like I said, that we had culture, we had governments, we had.
Instead of reenacting the Wild Wild West show. Every time I think
And
about
let
that,
me-
I think of that Wild
And
Wild
if
West.
I had more time and wanted to write a treatise about this, I would compare our societies in terms of how we governed our people.
Yep.
How did we regulate our society? Did we have jails?
Who did they take the
No jails.
ideas for the Constitution for?
Thank you
from?
very much.
Who did they take ideas for the Constitution from?
Yes, we know.
Who had a working press?
But in terms
I mean,
of,
really.
did we have something called the death penalty?
No.
Did we inflict? We had none of that. We regulated our societies
We were shunners.
in a way that worked for us. And if you wanna look at another term that we've been characterized as barbarians, in terms of if you want to compare how we regulated our societies, who was the barbarian?
They were.
So
Especially look at the way that the Wild Wild West culture, the way those people treated their women. Indian women were very equal. They were.
in some
leaps
societies, they were
and
the
bounds
ones who
ahead.
ran everything.
Exactly.
But in terms of my position, I'm not offended. What I am is I'm frustrated at the ignorance that continues to be perpetuated. And to me, it's not about being offended, because being offended is a subjective thing. What offends you may not offend me or Eric. But what does get perpetuated are these continual stereotypes and misinformation about who our people were. To me, that's the frustrating thing as an educator and as someone who has to put up with this. So I get frustrated.
Where are they going to learn who we really are?
Well, see, that's when I get frustrated when even with the Redskins stuff that's going on, and it always gets couched in terms of, oh, I don't know why you people are offended. No, that's not it. It's about the perpetuation of the ignorance of us as noble savages.
You know, I really suggest people look.
See, I'm getting fired. I should go into my RG3 rant.
No,
with my granddaughter.
Wait, you got me for only a few minutes. Rant when I run. Rant when I run. The thing is, do I find it? If I was out trick or treating tonight, I'll be out trick or treating with my grandchildren. When I walk by a little girl dressed up as Pocahontas,
are you gonna take her candy?
I will be offended. I will be offended because I raised my grandchildren to understand who a Lakota woman was, that we carry ourselves with respect, that we're modest, that we're humble.
So you're going to go Lakota on her when you see her?
No. I'm just going to walk by her and go, your parents should be ashamed.
Then the police are going to be called. There's some crazy woman out there yelling at all these kids.
My son is the closest thing to brown they have in a 5-block radius. So God only knows.
So you'll be easy to spot.
I know.
You'd be lucky it's dark.
You know, I'm really proud of you for doing that because there had to be a response. And I think a lot of times that's why they can do things like this, because we keep our responses to ourselves. We talk about how offended we are. I talk in my office about why.
Did I say I was offended?
No,
I know.
you've
I
said
thought
you
about that after
are
I
not.
said it. But could you just think? I'll do it.
Oh, that
It's
offends me.
Halloween. I'll do it. Except Kenny'd probably make me pay for the.
All the work Kenny went to get
I
that
know it.
microphone in there.
It's not going to even be printed.
She doesn't even respect your
Gateway,
word.
it doesn't matter. It'll still.
Tuesday.
What we
It'll
have
be
to
printed
say
on
will-
Tuesday.
Did they say? And the thing is, I think.
And
you
it's
should-
it's all next week, so it'll be perfect.
I would like it if you would send it to the Omaha World Herald, but because we're employees at the University of Nebraska at Omaha, you could probably get in some kind of trouble for that.
Well, I can't speak my mind.
Maybe a professor can, staff can't.
I don't know.
Me and Sherman can't speak our tiny little minds, even if we put them together and came up with a thought.
Oh, real
So
quick.
hey, I'm proud of you. You go, bro.
Go, bro.
You're the man, Zendejas. You're the man.
Yeah, I think I'll probably clean it up a little bit. For
You know,
guys up at
by
the-
Sunday we're gonna be looking at each other thinking, if I ever see you again. Like at the end of powwow night, only 3 days of it. By the end of powwow night, Ed and I look at each other and we're like, over. Go home.
Powwow
over
is
and out.
so over. At
It is
about
over.
10,
I
11 o'clock
know.
on Saturday night.
And I'm always the last person to walk out of there. Oh, and that'll be the film festival. You know we have to clean up. Well, I know. Listen to me. Like you're gonna stay.
I'm not going to stay and clean up. I'll tell you that right now.
Me and my but
I think I'm gonna have to-
inter-student tribal student council.
I think I'm going to have to take Chaske back to the hotel with he needs a chauffeur.
You know, no one's ever talked to us about who's going to be doing that.
I got a minivan.
Yay! Then you can be doing that.
That's my midlife crisis car.
Did you have a midlife crisis?
Yeah, it's a minivan. We had to have a minivan.
I don't picture him as a midlife crisis. I don't think Monica would allow it.
I had a midlife crisis.
Are
didn't
you
I?
having your midlife crisis yet, or have you not advanced to that stage?
I don't know. Every day is a crisis.
Yeah, that's true. The life and the day of Sherman is a
Right.
crisis.
You know what?
These are
Women
about
don't go through
crisis
midlife
management.
crises, but when our babies grow,
Tribal crisis
two times,
management.
when you realize you're not going to have any more babies, and when your last one moves out, are the closest we come to crises because we're mothers. You know, I could get my PhD, but when I die and someone says, "Who or what was Cindy Krafka?" I'm a mom.
Hey, did we
First
mention
course.
this?
It's not
Did I
paying
beat you
attention. You're not even paying
Oh,
attention.
did you? In the
in the race?
yeah, the race.
Oh no, you didn't beat me in the race.
The sponsors, our
He's-
bet.
He whooped me in sponsors.
I
He
knew
beat
it.
me by
I knew it was-
$150.
I knew it.
What do you mean? You probably didn't even collect it all, did you?
No.
And we did.
Good for you.
Every penny.
People, do you hear that? Some of you owe me money.
See, and that's how come
'Cause
I
I
said.
wrote a check for it all.
That's good. See, that was the rules that you were, it shouldn't come out of our pockets.
Well, I have it written down somewhere. I know it.
But
Any of you who gave money, I'd like it. I'd like it now.
See, because I've been down that road before. No, you give it, come on with the money. So, yeah, how many was it? How many sponsors did we end up getting?
$194.
$194 and what, 90 some sponsors?
81.
The only
80.
one even close to you. And thank you. Tell them what you want.
I want a t-shirt.
And
No, I got a gift certificate to Jones Bros Cupcakes.
and I benefited from that.
And we took Cindy, me and the
because
girlfriend.
clearly
We took-
I needed some sweet. I almost died, and if it would have been with anybody but him, I wouldn't have done the
She
full
would've
2
quit.
miles. I would have quit. I laid
Quit.
down and had.
And you know what she had to,
cigarette.
you know what she had to do at the end, probably this downhill about, I don't know,
You know, from the top of Milo Bale down to
she
the
had
doors.
she had to run like she was gonna beat me. See, and I was like, you know
I
what?
was
Go ahead,
rocking
go
it.
ahead,
Dun,
Cindy.
dun, dun, dun,
Go
dun.
So, and actually, we were
That was
me and
long.
Me and
That
the
was
girlfriend
long.
were the last ones.
You know what? No, we were not. Most people only did 1 mile.
They only did one lap.
We stuck it out that second. And you know what? It wouldn't be bad if it was flat. When Sarah and I went on our vacation, when we
Yeah, it's
walked
hard.
around-
You know, you would think that our campus had all those hills on them. Just even the little ones, like, oh, hammy.
I know. When me and Sarah were in Amsterdam, it was flat. You can walk forever, and you don't get tired. It's the hills, and UNO is up and down, up and down, up and down. My hamstrings hurt. I was supposed to go to Kenny's event, and
Rigor mortis set in. She
I
couldn't
couldn't. I was laying on the couch. I'm gonna die. Speaking of that, we.
No, can I give a
Let me
shout-
just, one quick, this is for Kenny. We were at the Genoa boarding school, and some of us had some kind of bad feelings. And you know, you
I
were
was gonna
right,
talk
you were
about
right
that
about that
a little
though,
bit
and I
later.
want to tell you that.
How many times did she
He
say
said that they
Sherman?
thought about having a paranormal society go in there. I think we should do you. We should send you and your paranormal society in. But when I got on the bus after that, I looked at Ed and I said they should burn those places down. And Ed said, I understand how you feel that way, and a lot of people do. But then the more I thought about it, the more I thought, no, they should never burn those places down. Not for us, but so that America never forgets what they did to the Indians. So for reasons for that, I think yes, I think that boarding school should be left up there. And anybody that says America was founded on freedom should have to go tour the Genoa boarding school, because those kids had no freedom. And so, me and some of the girls, the minute I walked in there, my stomach felt bad. I got a really bad headache, and it just felt wrong. And when I went upstairs, I just felt sad. I just cried, and I'm not a crier.
did.
When we went into that barn, it was like, it's like you're hit with bad. You're just hit with it, and you hear it rushing in your head, and it was a very weird experience for me spiritually. It really, really was. Those were bad places, and maybe as a mother, it makes some of us more in tune to that. But you think of the 7 and 8 year old children who were taken away from their moms and dads
Some
and
younger.
put there. I know. Who tucked them in at night? And when you come from a Native American family, not only are there 6 people living in a 2-bedroom house, you're sharing a bed with 4 other people. And everybody,
We didn't get a
it's
bed.
a big, oh yeah, but how, did you
It was
sleep
fir-
alone? Yeah.
Oh, it was the first. Usually, my older brother and sister got the couches.
Yep.
Fighting for a good spot on the floor.
But the thing is, then you go from that with a big family tucking you in and being with you when you go to bed to a place where nobody loves you. How badly messed up must that have made people? Sherman tells a story. Tell about your grandpa.
I thought I was going to say something here.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was. This was before the boarding school stuff, because I was going to talk about taking the kids up there in another segment. But you, no,
Well,
I
you
just
guys talk
before we
about
left. No,
break.
before we left the walk. It was mostly walk. There was only 2 people that ran it. I wanted to give a shout out to Craig Martin.
Yeah,
Craig-
Craigie.
Craig Martin, he was my primary benefactor. He donated $50.
You know, Every time.
See, and I don't think he knew that, and I didn't tell him, I just need $1 or $2. I was like, come on, Martin, pony up some cash for this good cause here. He says, will 50 do? And I said, nah, I might do.
Every time I think of him, I think once a year, the political science department, and him and I were in political science together, and once a year they take him to England for a trip. He somehow fell asleep on a bench in Amsterdam, and they left him there.
I thought it was passed
He woke
out.
up yeah, I didn't want to
You
say
didn't want to
that.
say that?
He woke up,
Okay, I
they had
ratted you out.
taken his wallet, they had taken everything and left him in Amsterdam. So he goes back to the hotel, and they were, they left his stuff for him there at the hotel. But when he woke up, he didn't know, and it was like a day later than he thought it was, and he's still famous. That's still the funniest. Yeah, he was wild.
Pat Lemire says she's going to have your 100 pennies for you.
I love you, Pat Lemire.
But give me my money. That's what she was saying.
The people that gave the $1, I don't care. The $5 ones, I'd like to pony up. Did you hear that, sister? My sister. I'm taking it off your Christmas present,
I went to go
Marty.
pick up that check at Martin's place and at his office, and I told his secretary I was expecting at least 2 more zeros behind this. What's up with that? And she was like, nah, this is just messed. Tell Craig I was messed.
If she was, it's time for a little break, and you and Eric Sherman will be on the air for the second half of the show because I'm going to go be grandma.
Maybe for about 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, that sounds about right. My head's killing me.
Yeah.
Are you getting sick?
Why don't we just go for 10 minutes and call it a day?
Yeah.
Because
Are the FCC regulators on us, Kenny?
Okay,
No.
you got till 4:15 and I'm out.
Or shall we just go right now?
Well, don't you want to talk about the boarding school?
I took the kids from South High School to boarding school. Next
Do
great
other
field
kids,
trip.
because some of those girls had that. Has that happened to you before?
I was telling you, Nick.
Other than that, does anybody feel those, or do we
Couple of
ask?
them are like that, where-
Yeah,
I had to share this with you.
okay.
On the way back, I started, he wants to get some of the reflections from some of the students. I went back and I was talking to one of the young men who doesn't ordinarily show up on Tuesdays. And I was asking him, like, so, what's your tribe? Well, he's, I think I'm Omaha. And asked him his name, and he said, you don't even know who I am, do you? He goes, and he gave me that look like he didn't want to know who I was and have anything to do with me. No, he was okay. But I said, your dad is my cousin.
Huh.
And I said, your mom or your grandmother and my mom are sisters. And I started telling you, he never heard anything about
I know.
his mom, and I was telling him some stories and
You reached
his
out.
great grandma and
That's what's so cool
and
about
I asked him. I said, and he said, yeah, that's why I came here, because I wanted to find out more about my family.
And he met you.
And it was.
that is the coolest thing, and it makes stuff like that makes me lonely for home, because when I'm home, it's like that. Here, I'm related to Sherman.
Sorry.
At least I have you.
Right.
And Chrissy Channel, the Oglalas. I have the Oglalas.
So is there anything you want to say?
No.
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 You just came to look pretty.
My head's just started hurting.
Are you
So-
offended?
I am not offended. What?
Kenny, are you offended? Let's offend. You can't offend Kenny.
I don't think you could.
Please, people, we hope to see you this weekend. It's going to be fun. Hey, free coffee Saturday morning.
You
I
know what?
my
It shouldn't even
Indians.
be about coffee. It should be about the great, event we're putting on. And
If coffee, I just want you to know, if you venture out on Saturday morning for kids' films, I'll have coffee for you. I guess Ed will have coffee for you.
it should be about, today's at that film festival. I'm going to go see all them famous Indian actors, and shouldn't be about, oh man, if I get up, I'll get free coffee.
Whatever floats their boat.
No, I'd almost say if that's the reason you're coming, then
Would you be quiet? First you rant, now you uninvite people. I can't be working with you like this, brother.
I'll be
I can't.
offended by that. It should be, yeah.
Monica, I don't remember asking you to get involved in this.
See, she's got my back.
I'm close enough to running out that door. I'll take you too, sister.
Oh, no. Trust me. You don't want to mess with that.
Oh, never. I don't know. I got Sherman. I'll throw him at her and run.
Good luck picking all this up.
Well, hopefully we'll be doing some remote broadcasts and
And if not, we'll try and get some digitally saved, and then we can play them. We can do one a week for the next
we'll figure
12
figure out what
weeks,
we're
because
doing.
I think we're bringing every Indian who ever acted in anything in.
Yeah.
Except, what about my bro? Your bro,
My bro
our
Gary,
best.
he's not coming. Oh, should I tell him tomorrow morning I'm gonna be on NPR?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes, at 8:45 in the morning at the Haymarket.
I gotta go to Lincoln like
I know.
Leave at
that's
7 o'clock.
Sometimes it's bad
that
to be
offends
staffed.
me.
Sometimes it's bad to be staffed. Sometimes it's good to be staffed. They never make staff do these kind of things. Just the director
I think
and
I'm
executive producer.
executive producer. Yeah.
Is that going to go on your resume?
Oh, you darn right, it's going on the resume on the VPay.
producer. Ooh, I gotta write.
I hope that that thing goes viral, or whatever they call it. Viral, Kenny?
Viral. They do.
Whatever.
That's what they call it.
Well, we'll see next week, and hopefully we'll be doing some remote broadcasts. But tell your friends, family, come on out. It'll be a great experience.
It will be. It's going to be a great day. Bring your families.
Peace
We're
out on
outta
that, man.
here. Bye-bye, Ava, Danny, Gabby, Charlie, if you're listening, Rai J.
If he's named all the
Nora.
Duggars, I'm gone.